Hello guys, welcome back to another video on Carried by Dreams. I hope you guys are having a good day. Today we're actually going to be talking about this little script, plugin, add-on, whatever you guys want to call it, in After Effects that help us remap faster. That's right. So I know if you're following the course in After Effects, it can be a little daunting to actually sit there and manually type it and put all the remapping inside After Effects. It could be a little daunting, so to some people it could be fun, but once you get longer cuts, more action going in, it can be a little bit more yikes, to say the least. But I'm going to show you guys a nice free way to actually improve the speed of you guys actually to input all this remapping inside After Effects. That's right, and it did say free, so let's take a look at it real quick. All right, here it is. Let me just move the camera down just a little bit. But yes, this is it right here. It's called AE Remap Exceed. Of course, it's in Japanese. That's why this video is made. If it was English, I would not be making this video at all. But it's completely free. Of course, this link will be in the description below. And to download it, we just click this link right here. So when we get that downloaded and extract it, we get these 4 files here. We only need these 3. And to install any scripts in After Effects, well, most scripts in After Effects, well, you guys, to install most scripts in After Effects, what you guys need to do is go to your local disk, go to users, go to your profile, and go to app data. If you guys do not see app data at all, you got to go to your view tab here and then go to click on this box. Make sure this box is clicked for hidden items, and boom, there we go. We see app data. Now if we go to inside app data, we go to roaming, we go to Adobe, and then inside Adobe we go to After Effects, and then I use 17.1 After Effects, and that's where this is. If you guys go to like 17, you guys get this. That's not what we want, but that's not what we're looking for. What we're looking for is the folder called scripts. So whatever version After Effects you're using, look for the folder called scripts. And then when you click in scripts, we get these folders here. Now, when I first installed this program, or script, or whatever you guys want to call it, I did not have this folder called Script UI Panels. If you guys don't see this folder, go ahead and make a new folder called Script UI Panels, and then inside that, just copy and paste these 3 into here. All right. Don't worry about this folder right here. That's a preference folder for this program. That's, you know. All right, so now that we got installed that, make sure you have After Effects closed. If you didn't have After Effects closed, go ahead and just restart After Effects. And if you guys didn't open up After Effects, go ahead and open up After Effects right now. Inside our Windows tab, we have a new option called AE Remap Exceed.jsx. This is what we're going to be using. Now, I made a little cut for you guys here just for this video. All right, so I have 4 cells here. There's 4 different things. Now, I used Clip Studio Paint to create this. The reason why I mentioned that, and the reason why it's important for me to say that, is because there's a lot of programs out there that has time sheets that you can use. And the reason why I mentioned that at the first, because of Clip Studio Paint, we have Toei Animation Digital Exposure Sheet. That's completely free and completely free to install. So if you guys don't have this from Clip Studio Paint, you guys go ahead and install it. Trust me, or don't. If you want to do it on paper. The reason why I use it because I have the window up right here, and that's actually really important for me. So you can add, it's a timesheet, and plus it's also easier for us to just apply what cell number is on there, or the frame name, to apply the cells on here, without actually manually inputting it ourselves. So that's really important to me and important to my production workflow. All right, so now that we have that up, we have these options here. Now, my Clip Studio Paint did crash on me after I exported it. I just did not feel like adding a different option here, but there are 2 parts to cell B, which is the bangs and that back of the hair. Okay, so now that we have this all opened up, so let's go to window and let's open up this AE Remap Exceed window here. Now we get this right here. We get this. We got 6 buttons that we have access to, with the clear being clear. This is to save, and this is to read their X sheet. So let's worry about the first button right here, which opens up the program that we're going to be using. All right, so now that we got this program all opened up, let me show you guys the basic way to how to utilize this in the basic of sense. I will have a document down in the description below that has translation for all of this. I'm not going to be talking about any of this because I'm not going to utilize any of this in this video, but I will have a document or a guide, a translated guide for these buttons, all right, and these options as well. All right, so we have this timesheet open up here. So let me talk a little bit about how to take this timesheet and input it on this timesheet here. All right, so we have this number right here, and this pretty much tells us what we're inputting, pretty much. And also, we're also gonna be utilizing the number pad on this. I mean, you can use your the top keyboard buttons, but we have much more flexibility and much more options on the number pad on the side of your keyboard. If you guys don't have that, you guys are still good to go, but you guys are going to be missing out a little bit of things. I'll tell you why in just a bit. All right, so of course we have first frame. We don't really need to input it on this timesheet here because it's already pretty much timed. But it's already pretty much timed. We're not going to be changing any timing on this. But I'm just going to show you the reason why I like to do it. I like to lay things out. All right, so we're gonna press 1 on our keypad and then press enter. Now what we did in the highlighted space, we told this sheet that, hey, this one's gonna be 1, but now we see the X under the 1 on frame 2, meaning that it only cell A cell 1 only lasts 1 frame. But on this timesheet, we need to have it last 72 frames. And in order for us to do that, there's a couple ways to do this. One, if you just press the decimal key on your keypad, number pad, and you just keep pressing it, you can extend that frame. You can also highlight it like so. We're going all the way down and press the decimal, and then now we have it last the entire 72 frames, which is really awesome. So the decimal point is really nice to start canceling things. But let's say there was 2 here. Let's add another frame. So press 2, boom. Now you see how this is. Now you see how we have 1 here. Now how do we delete that? If we were to press the delete or decimal key on our number pad, it will just continue moving the frame 1 down. That's not what we want. For this to really delete it, there's 2 options. Control X will Control X will break that point, but it doesn't really delete it. It's the same thing with decimal. Like decimal is just going down like that. So if we were to Control X again, you know, we're not really doing anything. If we're going to highlight and Control X, we're still not doing anything with it. That's because there's information below that, and that's the reason why it doesn't want to delete the what we're doing, because it just pushes it down because there's stuff below it. All right, so in order to delete this, you just highlight it, make sure it's at 0, and press enter. Even enter doesn't work, right? But if you want to highlight all of this and press enter, boom, it disappears. It finally disappeared on us, right? And then highlight this, and then press the decimal point, and now we're cooking with gas. Again, if you want to delete 1, pretty much delete all this and press the decimal point, and there we go. That's the workaround of that. There is no Control Z on this program, like you guys know. Say it again. There's no Control Z, so that it is what it is. There's many workarounds around that though. So, All right, so let's move on to cell B, which is going to be part of the hair. We have two of these. We got the hair, back of the hair, and then we got the bangs in the front. Cell 1, and let me tell you why like these having a number pad can be really helpful. So you know how if After Effects, if you were to really remap something, you remap, and then you input a number, you press enter, and then you press page down or page up, enter. Just keep doing it like that, and then you have to manually check, right? Pretty much can be the same. Pretty much the same can be done here, only it can be a little bit quicker because we have a more of a visual base here. All right, with After Effects, unless you like really zoomed on the timesheet or on the timeline, you only see every 5 frames or whatever settings you guys have. And I like to see what number, like positively which number I am without having to click on. Now I'm gonna click this and let's go to frame 2. That can really suck. That can really be time consuming in my opinion. So for us to do that, I mean this plus right here, if you press the plus or a minus, it goes up or down 1 frame. So if you go to 1 and keep going, it can really go on forever. If you press the plus button, it can really go on forever. So let's say if we were to do that, I think it was the beginner's course where the dog was waving his hand. That can be really annoying. And sometimes you would get cuts that there's a cell in every frame, and just mainly inputting that in After Effects. Well, that can be really, really time consuming. That's not something that we want to do, especially when in this kind of environment. We also got the divide and multiply key right here. If we were to really press that, that's pretty much highlighting 4 by 1, pretty much, or -1. That could be really nice because you press 2, and then you have that entire highlighted part be dragged up, and then we have 1. We're going back down. Of course, you could change this 1 to 3 if you so choose, and so on and so forth. Remember, the reason why this is happening, that we got 1 here, is because there's something underneath it, and then this program has got to read something. So if you want to delete that, of course, you just highlight all of it and press the decimal point, but there's still something in it. So you can click that and press 0, and then enter that, and then highlight everything, and then press the decimal point. And now that we have nothing underneath it, and we can go on from there. But all right, so let's transfer this data over here. So I'm just going to delete all of that, and then we're going to go to frame 6 and press 2, boom, and then I don't want that. Let's enter that. Let's exit that out, and then go to 1 here. Enter. Just cancel that. What I found easier to do is just to not worry about the dragged part here, because the reason why I don't like doing that as I'm inputting these cells in is because if I make a mistake, then I have to pretty much delete everything else. But if I made a mistake down here below this X here, I don't have to worry about inputting 4, and then you see 1 right next to it, and then I have to highlight all of it down. So I mean, that's just personal preference. It just works out for me. So let's continue and go on and finishing this. So we have 3 here, and then we have go to 21, and then we go to 26, and so on and so forth. 31. All right. So before I continue, actually, I'm gonna show you guys the easier way to actually copy and paste, because this is just repeating it until we hit the 51st frame. So let me just delete this, and let me just highlight this part up to the 20th frame. Control C, go to 21st frame, because that's where the next one is. Yep, right there. And then Control V. But see how, well, if I were to just Control V right there with just 1 space like that, it will only input the first one and then cancel it, right? But if I really wanted to highlight all of it, so this is 20 frames, so let's go to 21st to 40 and Control V, boom. Now we got the entire length of the what we wanted. Now if we go for the 31st, check 31st and highlight it all the way down to 51st frame. Control V. Now we have our entire don't know what to call it. Our entire timing of cell B, and then we can just go back and just really get our holes in. Remember, if you get an X right here, you highlight that part and press the decimal point. Now we can have our holded frame here. Same thing here, and then the end of that will go all the way down to the end of the cut until the duration of the cut is over. All right, and then now for cell C, again we have two parts for cell B, so I'm just gonna not. All right, so cell C, we start off with 1. Ooh, not C. Let's start with 1, and we go to the 9th frame here. Boom, bada bing, and just continue this until we imported everything. We match it up with this. You also, if you wanted to emulate how we did in After Effects, you can press the arrow keys to move up and down. So we're going to the 18th frame, press 2. And when we press 2 and I press enter, see how 1's right under 2? I'm just going to press the plus key, or sorry, I'm going to press the minus key, and then now we have 1, so I don't have to press 1 and enter. Save myself a click, even though I like clicking on my keyboard. Again, little thing to help save time. Move down 2 on the 22nd frame, press enter, or 2 enter, boom, go down 1. And then we go down 3, 1, 2, 3. On the 28th frame. Again, I'm going to press that plus key. Move down 1. And then that's it. And we hit the decimal button. And that's it. That's pretty much it. That's how you transfer this timesheet to this one. Now I wish it can read timesheets, so we won't have to actually manually input it like from Toray, right? Because having Toray, if you use Clip to your Paint and have Toray as your digital export sheet, it's really nice because you save your time to actually manually input and write in the timing of your cells because it does it automatically. It's really nice. It's really important. But if you want to use this part of your production, you can have your Gangerman make the timesheet in here so we can read it in After Effects. But that's up to you guys. It's not too bad once you get used to this program. All right, so now that we got everything needed, I no longer need a timesheet, so I'm just gonna hold all of this. Something I forgot to do in our previous cut. And there we go. We held all that, and then now we have everything all nice in order. So what we're gonna do? We're just gonna save this. We always save this. Oop. Control S to save. I'm going to type randomly here, and we're just going to save it somewhere. And overwrite this. I'm going to exit, and I'm going to reopen it because I don't know why. Because if you just save it and not close and reopen it, this doesn't really read the previous one for some reason. I don't know why. This is what I do. And then now we have access to this second button here. When we click it, boom, it reads the X sheet and have it in this window right here. Really nice and really important for us because now what we can do is highlight cell B in After Effects, go and click cell B in this window and click this button right here. Boom. It's really nice, really quick, but simple, and it already automatically tug a hold keyframes, even though it's a square. The difference between the square and difference between the triangle is that the triangle is that we added the cells before we tug a hold keyframes, and then the square is we added the cells after we tug a hold keyframes. The effects is still the same, and it still works. All right, so let's go to cell C and click this button here, and the cell D, click cell C in the window, boom. And now we no longer need this. Now we can play it, and we show us that it actually really works, and actually really it's a nice, hand saver. Because if you input it the way I do it, it really can hurt your hands and your wrists and forearm. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think it's really nice, really useful, and hope you guys use it in your future productions. If you guys are following along the After Effects and mainly inputting the time remapping and stuff, I hope you guys utilize this, and because I hope this is gonna be better for you guys. All right, that's about it for this video. I hope you guys have a good day. See you in the next one.